far as hazards out here, once we go out into the marsh, we have a variety of hazards, tripping hazards. We've got tons of alligators out here. Anahuac considered the alligator capital of the United States. In addition to alligators, we have tons of venomous snakes. So keep an eye out where you're walking. If you see any alligators, venomous snakes, just stay away from it. Don't try to pick it up, shoot it away, or anything like that. If you're walking with us when we're dragging the line, if you want good pictures or use your binoculars, I would suggest you stand to the left or the right of us. If you're going to stand on the road, once we get down there, stay just on the edge of the road. Do not wander off trying to look for rails on your own. We had people do that in the past. If you wander away from the group, then that's considered harassment of any of the bird species out here. And also with that, please do not use any electronic calls. Those are not allowed out here.
Well, today we are headed down to the yellow-railed prairie at Anahuac Wildlife Refuge. Hopefully we're going to flush up a whole bunch of rails today. We're going to look for yellow rail, black rail, clapper rail, king rail, Virginia rail, Sora, and a whole bunch of sparrows. It should be a whole blast. There's a bunch of people in front of me, a bunch of people behind me. We're going to get out on this nice big prairie and run through the grass, hopefully dodging all the alligators and flushing up a whole bunch of birds. So we were pretty much right up here at the front of the line right now. We've got the park rangers ahead of us, and we're going to pull off in a second and get a great looks at some birds. Hopefully the water will be a little bit shallower than last year. Had some great black rails last year, but the water was up to my knees and kept filling up my boots. But we'll see about that in a little bit. I'm geared out, ready to go, and gonna see how exhausted I get running through a marsh trying to see some rails. So this is out on the prairie. Got all the birders lined up here. That's where we're gonna be walking. Gonna take out across that prairie over there and look for a whole bunch of rails that will hopefully flush up out of the grass. Should have some great views. Here we go.
We probably want to be real close together.
Yeah, shoulder to shoulder would be ideal.
You think out on the end's a good place to be with the big camera?
We'll see. Jesse's got legs. He's young. Not like I was old and tired too. Man, this Spartina is just living up to its name.
It's sharp.
Yeah, pick up Spartina wire. What do you think the name of Spartina wire is?
I didn't hear the name of it.
Yeah, this is Spartina Spartane.
Okay.
We ready? Okay, Simon says, find yellow rail. You go ahead and let go of it. Let me pull on it.
Not a lark.
Yep. We got to get out of this really heavy grass. One down, two down. A success is assured.
You can't stop there.
Well, we're not moving very fast.
Exactly.
Save yourselves. This is really bad where we're at. We got to get through this.
It looks like it goes to about out
We just got to get
50 feet more.
I've never tried it in waist high before. Seaside sparrow in front of us. That was crazy dense. You can't do it in that. They're sedge-wrens and seaside sparrows. That was a sedge-wren. Yeah, so kind of the rule of thumb is tail up, sedge-wren, tail down, seaside sparrow. Yeah.
It does get better.
Just follow the tracks.
Right here where there's no grass.
It's not the same right there. If we hit a wall like that, we're going to circle the edge of it. We're not going through that with this group again. It's too hard. But that was bad. That was the worst I've ever seen. This hasn't burned in a few years, is the problem.
We made it though.
We didn't lose anyone. We gotta go back though.
We haven't made it, all of us, yet.
This will sure come back the same way too.
So you notice how prickly that grass was. That grass is Spartina spartanae. Think Spartina wire.
Yeah.
That was too dense. The yellow rails are in that.
Really?
Yeah, because there's tunnels and stuff in there they can use. But we can't make them flush in that.
Yeah, I was feeling up here.
So we need knee-high grass. Fortunately, we're out of that section. Hopefully. It could be, we probably want to head towards that stuff with the scirpus in it. Scirpus olnei, it's a sedge out here. So sedges have edges. They also call it tri-cornered grass. It's a little less dense and the rails are in it if it's not too wet. Are we all here? We got one more catching up. Give them a moment to get a feel of their breath back.
I know. Hey, that stuff though is soft and bouncy.
You almost couldn't fall down and that it propped you up.
You wouldn't fall far.
Oh, well. You wouldn't hit the ground. That's some folks would be like being on a bed of nails. I saw my hand on it.
I've got one of those. I kept wishing I had mine.
Everybody ready, or do we need another moment?
I'll find if I fail.
Okay, forward ho.
Okay, neck to neck on this rope would probably be a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm here.
This is right down here. This is the testicula.
That's what we're supposed to be doing, right?
Oh, it's Sora. No, not a sword. That was a Virginia.
Okay.
Virginia rail.
There's a large one stuff here anyway. That big is a little bit.
It's a little bit bigger than yellow rail.
This is a little high flow. Okay, hold on.
We're probably in too deep of water. My worry is this grass, this hasn't burned in 4 years, and it's kind of dense. The birds are here, but I got a bad feeling they're not able to flush. It's a grackle. What?
On the bottom.
Will it? That's our famous pied grackle. That's a sedge wren.
Oh, that's a red.
Down here, they're boat tails.
The great tails are a lot noisily nastier sounding. The tails are more exaggerated than idea.
These have dark eyes and a more rounded head.
Does this area have both the great-tailed and the boat-tailed?
In this area, but down here in the marsh, it is all boat tails. So you might see some great tails up around the headquarters.
Something's crawling around in the grass over there.
You said they had a more rounded head.
Yeah.
Do they have different links on their feathers? Are they different links on their head?
They're pretty close.
It looks like they have a burr haircut or something.
Yeah, they have a more rounded head.
Okay, that's just rounded. Okay.
Yeah. So think of it as the forehead shape. This testicula might do the trick. We need just less dense grass.
Closing in. We need to tighten up.
Yeah.
You want to move to the left a little bit? Maybe you should take the rope then.
Yeah. Two-winged?
Northern Harrier.
Yeah, it's a female northern harrier. Males are brown, and our females are brown, and males are gray. Yeah.
they're smaller.
They're much smaller. They're about 2/3 the size. Okay, let's head for the Harrier. Don't catch it. Duck this time.
Did you all see the least bittern and the American bittern coming in?
Yeah.
They were both sitting on the right side.
Yeah.
I wanted to photograph the least, but I knew I couldn't hold up the line. It went down.
Recognize this as like.
Yep. I don't know if y'all remember, but we were doing that.
Oh, Colin.
Yeah, I heard it. I just didn't know what it
Left
was.
of them.
Starting to pull down.
We got at least bittern and 2 here.
Least bittern.
Okay, you see the island? Yeah. Okay, the tallest little salt cedars. Come down on the left side of it at the edge of the pond in front of us.
It's really hot in here.
If you see between the two little, the vegetation on the horizon, you see some houses.
Yeah.
Look straight down from there to where the dark green.
Coming up. Running to the right.
Yeah, he moved.
Hard to see. We want to get everybody up, get them rested. We got to get something drier than this.
The road's right up there.
Well, there's a gradient up there. But it's super thick there, so we're going to have to skirt that. There's a ditch that drains thinking it might get drier over there. Yeah. A lot of times out here I feel like the old Pacific canoe mariners by, looking at the waves.
The cool thing is that there's not that many birders to kind of see, so we can use it.
Oh, rail.
It's rather large. It's probably a Virginia, isn't it? Virginia.
No, I think that was a Sora.
Okay.
It had a great bill.
Right.
Sora. We're up for the longest time.
I didn't see a bill. All I got was a rear view. That's all I saw. But I didn't see the white building. Yeah, there was.
That was a black rail right there.
There was a black
Oh.
right
There is a red right there.
Pull forward.
Well, no, you got to keep going. We can't reflush it. Well, I had a black rail right
Yeah,
here.
we saw one go right over there.
Walk forward.
Hey, quick, Lane, come around this side. Maybe you can see through the
Let
back.
the line reform. Well, we're not supposed to take them down. Virginia, all dark. Virginia. Yeah, they're dark brown. Stores are red. It could have been crate.
It was a rail, definitely.
Yeah. In the light, I couldn't tell you whether that was a black or a yellow.
I just ran across that pond, open area. Going right.
Yeah, it's in silhouette, so don't trust it.
There's sparrows.
They're not black rails, they're
Seaside sparrows. Cedron.
Oh, right here, right here, right here.
Right here.
Is it really a black rail or not a seaside?
It went into this.
No, it was a rail.
It's still
It's right here.
It's gonna get away.
That's good.
Oh, it ran.
It ran.
No, that's the side.
Hey, these.
I saw the black rail agnostic.
Most of us are seaside sparrows and cedron.
That thing ran.
We saw
Well, the seaside
cedron.
sparrows we saw run too.
I'm gonna go with her.
It was late.
He's right, I saw it.
There he is. There he is.
Still not see it?
Black rail?
That was in black rail. I saw the reddish.
Did you see spots?
I saw reddish on the neck and white spot.
Black rail over here.
Very diagnostic look.
They've got another
And later we're going to have it on camera in a second. And then you can eat the photo.
You go in there and validate some eBird records.
That one
I did not see it. It was directly in front of him.
Did you get any video, Jesse?
maybe the black rail, but not the yellow.
Oh, I'd love to see black. Are you gonna do like an edited video?
Yeah.
Oh, send me a link to it.
This is nice. Jess may have photographed that.
Yeah, I've been rolling
you're a
pretty
good
much the whole time.
Yellow rail, yellow rail, yellow rail.
Oh, video. Oh, awesome. He flew right into the camera. Wait for...
Everybody's seen yellow rail now.
There's a seaside sitting there. Where? Right in front of us. Straight in front of you.
10 meters ahead.
10 yards in front of you.
He's looking around.
Seaside?
You can barely see it.
There he goes.
Oh, second one chasing him.
You can have whatever you want for dinner.
Yeah.
Go to Guido, get the
Well, now here comes the hard part. How we get to the road. That's a fairly deep ditch.
Yeah.
It's all about building rapport.
Challenging.
I don't know if I can jump that far.
I'll hold your camera.
It looks like it's shallow over there. There's grass.
Okay. This is going to be deep. We might want to walk down there.
Yeah, that looks
Is it
shallow.
like more than boot deep?
Yeah,
It could be.
that's
So
about...
what you want to do is if you're crossing it, step about a quarter of the way out, step across the deep part to the other quarter.
Just watch the guy in front of you.
It's kind of like running from bears. You don't have to run faster
Might be
than
able to
bears,
make it.
it's faster than your partner.
That's it.
I think it's worth the walk to get down to the...
What? All you gotta do is run fast and no water.
This time I made it out without wet socks. I don't want that to end right at the end.
Who's that fellow with the stick?
The pole vault across. Let's see. Well,
I was thinking more of the cat stuff down there.
This looking good so far. Thank you.
yeah, we're good here.
Well, I was waiting.
So here's the indicator of how deep it is. If your boots are not that tall, you can make it through. So exhausted, but success with the rails. There's the Prairie, and hopefully I'll be getting some video up soon of the black and yellow rails. We'll be able to see that all up online. Now to the rail Prairie again. Great day out there, a bunch of birds, yellow rail, possibly a black rail, we'll see. Virginia rail, Sora, heard some Clapper King Kling rails that are hybrids in the area. Bitterns flying over, both least and American bittern, and of course tons of sedge wrens, all sorts of sparrows. We had grasshopper sparrow. Blah. All kinds of seaside sparrows hopping up, tons and tons of birds. And right along here is a nice little corner. Actually, if you come out later and sit around a bit, you can find king rails. This is about the intermediate area here at Anahuac where the clapper rails end. Further out towards the yellow rail prairie, you get hybrids. You go further beyond there, you get clapper rails. Then back from here on in, it's getting to be more freshwater, more inland swamps, and you're getting more of the king rails, which the two can be fairly hard to tell apart if you see them together. Just have to look at a little bit of the coloration on the face and on the back. Clapper rail will have a bit more gray on the face. King rail will be more brownish, rusty-ish. And the feathers on the back, you'll see on the king rail, it's a bit, they'll be brown with brown edges, and the clapper rail has brown with buffy edges. So little tiny details, but can help you distinguish these little very similar rails you can see around here. And of course we've got the yellow rail, yellow with white on the wing, as you'll see in the video. Black rails are tiny little guys, black, very elusive. You'll see them mostly running through the marsh. They barely ever hop up unless they're absolutely impossible for them to fly. As you can see in this picture that I had last year. This was when the swamps were flooded and the rails literally couldn't run, so you'd have the rails, they had to fly up, and let me take some nice pictures of them. And other than that, we'll get Virginia rail. It's an intermediate size rail between yellow and clapper king rails. So a bit smaller, darker, and it has a nice curved bill as well, unlike the yellow rail and the Sora and the black rail that have shorter bills. They're more crake-like. So what do we have in